Hello all. So in this session we are going to discuss about input and output configurations of measuring instrument and instrumentation system. So while we are employing a measuring instrument for measuring a particular parameter, what we will be expecting there? We will be expecting an exact value of the parameter to be displayed on the output screen, right? But in practical cases this is not so. So there will be many errors or extra noise signals and unexpected input signals will be added with this input. Will be added along with this input, and all these sum total input will be processed again by the instrumentation system, and a output is obtained which is not an accurate value of the physical variable that is being measured. Okay, so in such cases, if we have a knowledge of the error signals or the additional inputs that may add up unintentionally with the input, if we have a knowledge of such inputs, then we can filter out the effect of such input from the output value, and we can obtain the accurate value from the displayed one. So for that purpose, we are analyzing the system, our measurement system, with a block diagram as shown here. And this configuration, this is a generalized input output configuration of any measurement system, and this scheme is suggested by these three scientists, Draper, McKay and Lees. Now here you can see there are three input: desired input, modifying input, interfering input, and there are some blocks here: FT, FMI, FMD, FD and all. And the output of this section, that is interfering input section and desired input section, is summed up here in a summing device, and the sum total is obtained as the output and is displayed on the screen. Fine. Now what is this desired input? Okay, whenever we are making a instrumentation device or measurement device, we will be aiming to measure a particular variable by that instrument. That variables or that inputs which we are intended to measure by that instrument, they are the desired input. Okay, now interfering input, these are the quantities to which the instrument is unintentionally sensitive. That is, these are the quantities that we are not intended to measure, but they will come for sure. Such inputs which we can't avoid, but unintentionally they are detected by our system. Such inputs are known as interfering input. Now next one is modifying input. What is modifying input? It is represented by IM here. Interfering input is represented by II, desired input by ID. So modifying inputs are the quantities that cause a change in input-output relations for the desired and interfering input. Okay, that is, here you can see the desired input ID is given to a particular system, and this has a constant known as FD which modifies this desired input. Next one is interfering input. Interfering input is also having a constant Fi which will modify the interfering input as per the requirement. So FD and Fi are the functions to be performed, or they are the constants, functions or constant that is to be performed on the direct and interfering input to obtain output in desired format. So for example, if this system, this overall system is a linear system, then the value of Fi and Ft will be a constant, and the output component will be a constant times the input over here, so that the output and input, if you are plotting as a graph, we will obtain a linear relation in a linear system. Okay, so depending upon the type of system, the constant here, constant Fi and Ft may vary. Okay, if the system is a complex system, then this Fi and Fd will be complex functions of input and output variables. Okay, so these are all the Ft, Fi and Fd. Now next one is Fmi and Fmd. You can see here, this is Fmi block and Fmd block. Fmi is the symbol. Fmi is a symbol just used to represent the effect of modifying input on the interfering input. Similarly, this Fmd is a symbol which we use to determine or represent the modifying input effect on the desired input. Okay, so we can say due to the presence of this modifying input, the output component of both the interfering as well as desired input will be modified, and this modified value of the output component will be added up here, and in the output we will obtain the effect of all the three input. Okay, so that is all about input and output configuration. Next, let us move on to an example, mercury manometer. Mercury manometer is a device used for differential pressure measurement. So differential pressure measurement. So in such a device, there will be two inputs, P1 and P2, and these are the desired input which we need to measure. The difference of these two pressures need to be measured here by this device, and inside this mercury manometer we will be having two levels of mercury, and depending upon the pressure input P1 and P2, the levels of mercury will be varying. Depending upon the variation in the levels, the calibration scale over here will measure the pressure difference. This is the calibration scale measurement is X, which is proportional to P1 minus P2. Okay, so in ideal case, what will be the value over this calibration scale when the pressure difference is 0? When the pressure difference is 0, the X should be 0. Okay, now let us see what are all the inputs of this mercury manometer. So P1 and P2 are the desired input. Okay, that is, this mercury manometer is designed for measuring this P1 and P2 difference. Now next one is interfering input. Now let us keep this mercury manometer over a wheel as shown here in the figure B, and we are moving this wheel, or we are moving this vehicle so that acceleration happens. Now due to this acceleration, the level of mercury over inside this mercury manometer varies, but due to this acceleration input, due to this movement, a display, this calibration scale will be denoting a measurement, which is an error here. So due to the, ideally what will be happening when the pressure difference is 0, X should be 0, but due to the interfering input acceleration here, the X will not be 0 here. It will read some value which is an error value. So this is the interfering input, and another interfering input is shown here in the figure C. Here we are tilting this mercury manometer in an angle theta. Due to this tilt, the levels of mercury is varying, but due to the tilt angle theta, here calibration scale reads a particular value X, which is the error here. So here tilting or tilt angle is the interfering input. In this case, acceleration is the interfering input. Clear? Now third type of input is modifying input. The modifying inputs that can cause to the mercury manometer is ambient temperature and gravitational force. What will happen if the atmosphere or the room temperature of the place where we keep mercury manometer is increasing? When the ambient temperature increases, the density increases. So as the room temperature increases, the calibration scale may also increase in length, and also due to the increase in temperature, the density may increase, As a result, the scale factor or the proportionality constant may vary here, which is an error. Okay, so this is a modifying input, and other modifying input is gravitational force. Gravitational force may vary depending upon the location of the manometer. If you are moving this manometer to some other country, or if you are moving manometer to some other heights or something, then the gravitational force of attraction upon this mercury manometer differs. Due to this differing gravitation, the scale factor or the proportionality constant may vary here, and we will get a error output in the scale. So this is also a modifying input. Okay, so the desired input is two pressures, interfering input acceleration and tilting, and modifying input ambient temperature and gravitational force. Okay, so in this manner we can analyze any measurement system with respect to these different type of input, and we can study the response of the system to these three type of input. And if we are recording this response of the system for these various input, we can design the measurement system to overcome all these problems. That is, what are the two inputs we need to remove from our system? It is interfering input and modifying input. Now if we know the effect of these two inputs on the system, and then we can design some remedy to overcome the effect of these two inputs. For that, the knowledge of these inputs are very essential. Okay, that is why we are analyzing a system with respect to these three inputs. Okay, so hope you all are clear with it. In the next session, let us learn about how to overcome all these spurious input signals. That is, how to overcome this interfering input as well as modifying input. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you.